Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your buddy, the 14th Prime, and tonight we are taking a look at this new missing link, RC. And this is what I want to say before we even get into the video. I can't believe it took 38 years for us to get some of this stuff. And then when we do get it, I mean, I guess everybody want Grandma RC and Prototype RC, obviously, or else they wouldn't have made it. Me personally, I mean, if I see it, maybe. The missing link thing just hasn't hit with me. I don't see a need for it if I have the modern figure. I do still have the original 80s, like the original toy of Optimus, and I do have my original Megatron, my original Bumblebee, but that's probably it. Now, we're going to talk about old school in a minute, but then you can't get no more older than this. I remember the prototype pictures of RC and the prototypes of Unicron. I hope y'all don't plan on doing that. The missing link Unicron. He like a giant basketball or like an inflated pumpkin. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love to have it, but yeah, not me. To me, this is where they knocked it out of the park. Her vehicle mode is crazy. Again, she's got superhero mom body, but that's the one that we saw. If you're my age, that we saw, the old prototypes for that never came out. I'm glad that they are finally coming out. There was a lot of things that Hasbro has done right, by me anyway, that I feel as though, yeah, I wish we could have got, certain things when we were kids or younger or whatever. Like, I would have killed for an arc back then, in the 80s, or the Nemesis back then. So I'm glad that I'm still alive and here to see and own the Ark and the Nemesis and a few RCs, but this was a surprise. Like, the Jetsons vehicle mode is where they killed it. Now, talk about old school. When you go back to the first episode of Transformers, and it first opens up and they're on Cybertron, and Bumblebee gets in the back of Wheeljack, and they're taking the Energon light poles or whatever. Again, we're referring to the new Dramatic Capture toys that went up for pre-order. You get all three Origins toys, but I have done that stop motion so many times, over and over, and I had to use modern figures. The first time I did it, actually, I used Cliff Jumper because I didn't have Bumblebee. But again, it's something that, are we going to do everybody's origin figure? You know what I mean? Or like everybody that was in the old shows? Basically, what I'm hoping for is that we get the Tetra Jets done in the Origins fashion. The Siege Tetra Jets were amazing. To me, that was like one of the greatest molds ever. And who doesn't love a Tetra Jet? You know what I mean? But I would love to see a lot more of these origin versions of, characters made. A lot of characters would, because now that we're doing the studio series and we're doing cartoon accurate and we're doing, show accurate, movie accurate, everything has to be screen accurate or whatever. And now that we're getting, we know that we're getting Bruticus. Like I said, we knew for about 8 or 9 months now, and we know the inevitable Defensor is coming. They're not going to use that Vortex mold just once. I guarantee you that will be Blades, and the rest will probably be new molds also. But my question too with the whole combiner thing is that, will they go on a limb and do Computron? Like, that's one of those things, like with 86 or 86 Megatron, that we have not seen or heard about. But I would just think that if you're doing everybody, and like, are we going to get a Predaking, a new Predaking? Because the Titans Return or Power of the Primes, Predaking, great toy, but a lot of bricks stuck to these animals, these giant black bricks, the connection ports. Now, in his combined form, he does look brilliant. But mine pretty much has stayed in his combined form since I got it. The individual robots look okay, again, but then they all have this giant black brick stuck off the back of them. We got 86 Optimus, which is an amazing figure. Um, and with the new Cyber World cartoon, we've got this another iteration of Scorponok coming out. And I tell you what, if I happen to see that Cyber World Scorponok, I'm buying all of them and I'm putting them in my son's room, and then I'm gonna bring them in here in my studio and pretend that they're his anytime someone sees them. It's something about them. Like, I'm really liking it. Plus, it's Scorponok. Who doesn't want a different or a new Scorponok? But yeah, I think Hasbro, I think y'all are doing a great job. I can't wait for these Origins toys to come. The Wheeljack, Jazz, and Bumblebee. I like dramatic capture, this whole dramatic capture series thing that they're doing. Just keep it up. Thank you, Hasbro. It's your buddy, 14th Prime.